In this video, we'll create a monitor in TraceRMM, configure how it detects and responds to a problem, assign it to devices, and verify the resulting alert inside TraceRMM and through email. From the monitoring page, select New Monitor to begin. Start by entering a name and description for the monitor. Use a name that clearly identifies what the monitor checks, since this name will appear throughout the monitoring and alerting areas of TraceRMM. Select the monitor type. The monitor type determines what TraceRMM evaluates and which configuration fields are displayed below it. Different monitor types can check different parts of a managed device, including services, processes, system resources, events, and other supported conditions. Next, choose the alert severity. Severity determines how the alert is classified when the monitor detects a problem. This allows technicians to distinguish informational or low-priority conditions from warnings and more urgent failures. Set the interval to control how frequently the monitor runs. For example, a 5-minute interval means TraceRMM checks the condition every 5 minutes. A shorter interval detects changes sooner, while a longer interval reduces how often the monitor is evaluated. Configure the monitor's specific condition. The available fields change based on the selected monitor type, so review the condition carefully and confirm that it represents the exact behavior you want to detect. In the System Response section, configure how TraceRMM should react after the monitor enters an alert state. Review any delay, recovery, or response options shown in this section. These settings determine how quickly TraceRMM creates or resolves the alert and help prevent brief or temporary conditions from generating unnecessary noise. The Run a Script option allows you select a script from the library, allowing you fire a script in response to a monitor being triggered. The Send Email option controls whether email notifications should be sent when the alert is created. Email delivery requires a working email provider to be configured in TraceRMM, which is shown later in the video. The subject line supports dynamic keywords. These keywords are replaced with information from the actual alert when the email is generated, allowing the subject to include details such as the client, site, device, severity, or monitor name. This makes notifications easier to identify and allows each client's alerts to be distinguished without creating a separate monitor for every client. Select the recipients that should receive the notification. The default recipients option uses the alert recipients configured on the client that owns the affected device. This is useful when the same monitor is assigned across multiple clients. Each client receives notifications only for its own devices, using the recipients configured in that client's settings. Additional email addresses can also be entered directly when a monitor must notify a specific recipient, regardless of the client configuration. The monitor can now be assigned to its targets. TraceRMM monitors can be applied to entire clients, individual sites, specific devices, static collections, or dynamic collections. Client and site assignments provide broad coverage. Device assignments allow a monitor to target one endpoint directly. Static collections use a manually maintained group of devices, while dynamic collections automatically include devices that match the collection's rules. This allows one monitor to be reused across the environment without manually rebuilding the same configuration for every endpoint. Review the assignment table and confirm that the intended targets are listed. Remove any incorrect assignments before saving. At the bottom of the monitor configuration, confirm that Enabled is selected. A monitor can be fully configured and assigned, but will not run while it is disabled. After confirming the name, type, severity, interval, condition, system response, notification settings, assignments, and enabled state, select Save Monitor at the top of the page. Inside the client settings, the Alert Email section defines the default recipients used by monitors with default recipients enabled. Add the appropriate recipient address for that client and save the change. This client-level configuration is what allows one shared monitor to send notifications to different recipients depending on which client owns the device that triggered the alert. The device page provides an overview of its current condition and includes its applied monitors. Open the Monitor section to see which monitors are assigned to the device and whether they are currently healthy or alerting. The device's monitor panel shows the monitor name, severity, current status, last result, and other monitoring details. This provides a device-specific view of monitoring without requiring you to search through all alerts in the environment. The monitor detail page shows the monitor configuration and its assigned targets. It also shows the current state of each target, allowing you to identify which devices are healthy and which have triggered the monitor. When the configured condition is detected, TraceRMM creates an alert. That alert is visible from the monitor, from the affected device, and from the Global Alerts panel. The Global Alerts panel displays alerts from across the entire TraceRMM environment. Each row includes information such as the client, site, device, severity, monitor, message, last triggered time, resolution state, acknowledgement state, and available actions. After the alert is created, open your email client and check the inbox for the configured recipient. The alert email confirms that outbound notification delivery is working. The subject line uses the format configured on the monitor, including the dynamic values inserted for this specific alert. The email body identifies the alert severity, client, site, device, monitor, current status, and alert message. It also includes a direct link back to TraceRMM, so the technician can open the related alert or device for further investigation. Returning to the Alerts panel, use the search field to locate alerts by text such as a client name, device name, monitor name, or message. The column controls allow the alert table to be filtered more precisely. Filters can be applied to fields such as client, site, device, severity, monitor, trigger time, resolve state, acknowledgement state, and other available columns. This makes the Alerts panel useful both as a global overview and as a focused troubleshooting view when working on one client, site, device, or type of issue. The alert can also be acknowledged or managed from the Actions column. Acknowledgement allows technicians to indicate that an alert has been reviewed without necessarily marking the underlying condition as resolved. The video then returns to the monitor configuration and device monitor details to demonstrate that the alert state is reflected consistently across TraceRMM. When the monitored condition recovers, the system response settings determine whether the alert automatically resolves. The updated status is then shown on the monitor, the device, and the Global Alerts panel. A recovery notification can also be delivered by email, allowing the recipient to confirm that the condition has returned to normal. The recovery message references the same client, device, and monitor information, so it can be associated with the original alert. Finally, open settings and locate the email provider configuration. TraceRMM requires an outbound email provider before monitor notifications can be delivered. Select the provider type and enter the required connection and authentication details for the chosen service. After the provider is configured, use the available test function to confirm that TraceRMM can successfully send email. Once the provider test succeeds, client recipients are configured and the monitor has email notifications enabled. TraceRMM can deliver alert and recovery notifications for monitored devices.